So happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to Unmuted. I can't believe we're already here again. It's already been 2 weeks. Today we have the wonderful Wendy Wolff. I'm so excited. Well, first, I'm excited to spend more time with you.
Aw.
But I'm excited for other people to be able to spend time with you too, Wendy. I always forget to say this. I've been getting better about it. But put in the chat where you are joining from. It's always really cool to see where folks are listening in or watching in from all over the world. So that's really cool to see. So put it in the chat where you're joining from. Also, put in the chat any questions you have for Wendy, any questions you have for me. I can't directly respond in the chat, but I'll verbalize it here in the space. So if you have questions or want to say anything, definitely, and connect in the chat with each other, learn about who else is here watching and listening, who may be a like-minded heart, right, in the space. So it's always fun to do that. One other thing before we dive in, I have just announced, and I have it up on the screen, there's a QR code. I know, I'm so excited. At first, I'm excited. I was able to figure out the technology to get it on the screen. I'm not a tech person, but there's a QR code, and there is another thing on the opposite side of the screen that says Spark Catalyst. So I have officially launched my consulting, advising, and coaching accelerator program. I'm so excited. Cohort 1 will kick off April 2nd. That QR code just takes you to learn more about the program. I'm hosting 3 information sessions. So, because there's a lot to it, so that folks can really learn about the curriculum and the flow and some of the subject matter experts that will be engaged, which is really exciting. So if you want to learn more, scan the code, do a little reading, sign up for an info session, or reach out if you just have questions. Happy to answer any questions. And Wendy really helped me put mind to paper with this, because it's something that I've been building for a long time. But as a solopreneur, it's a lot to bring to fruition. And thank you, Wendy, so much for letting me do that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So shall we dive in? Wendy, I'm going to hand the mic over to you. And yeah, so you can just say whatever you'd like to say about yourself and introduce yourself to our audience.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah. And just one more time, if you're just joining us, put in the chat where you're joining from. It's always a lot of fun to see where folks are joining from. So, all right, go ahead, Wendy.
Awesome. Great. Well, first of all, Paige, I want to just say I'm so glad you've gotten it on paper and it's happening, because that's just great. And I will introduce myself in a second, but one of the things that I think I value with my colleagues. Oh, there I am.
Hi. Lucy, where are you?
I'm right here. With my colleagues and clients and friends is the opportunity to just think strategically with someone else who doesn't have their agenda on their mind while they're helping you sort out your stuff. So really, that was an honor. But anyway, for everyone, I'm Wendy Wolff. I've been doing consulting for nonprofits and government organizations since 1994. Well, 1995, I guess I'll call it. And I cut my teeth in my career at a very curious time. So I have my master's in public health, and I was living in Colorado at the time. And I had the opportunity to work in the HIV and AIDS field and learned, first of all, in Colorado, I met the most extraordinary human beings. But at the time, the Centers for, this is important just because it's sort of.
Because it's your story.
It's my story, and it's the foundation. Yes, and it's the foundation of who I am. But at the time, I was working for a local county health department, and the Centers for Disease Control had told every state, it's no longer, this isn't lost on me right now, but it's no longer the good old boys network. It is, if you want to receive your millions and millions of dollars, you're going to have to bring the community to the table, those who are directly and indirectly affected by HIV and AIDS. And actually, at the time, we didn't even call it HIV back then. So my local health department and the other health educators that I worked with around the state voted me to participate in this planning group, and it absolutely changed my life. And Colorado took it very, very, very seriously about how to get community involvement. And I participated in the deepest, most profoundly heart-wrenching and thought-provoking conversations about how racism and sexism and othering and all of that pushes people out of the system, and so it's just phenomenal. And so through my role there, I learned, and this is a true story. This is going to relate to you. I don't know if I told this to you when we met, but this is why I love strategic thinking with other people. But I just, I'm in these meetings and I'm new. I'm in my 20s. This is my first job. But I'm enamored with this whole sort of mobilization of thought and people, regardless of your academic stature and your position in professionalism. And so I'm in this room, and it's this big room, and the National Civic League is facilitating. And I'm looking at the facilitators, and they have their markers and their papers. And I'm like, what is this? This is like so inspiring. And I'm very, very, very visual. So that's how I learn. So I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Anyway, so I sign up for this coordinating committee. I don't know what it is, but I do it. And we're going for months, round and round and round and round. We meet in these small groups, and then there's a large member group. It's like this whole thing. And we're in this small group at the health department, at Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment. And I will never forget it. It's so profound. The gentleman is facilitating the meeting, and we can't decide on anything. And I literally put my hands on the desk, and I stand up, and I go over to the whiteboard, and I go, oh my God, I remember who, what, when, where, how.
Right.
What are you doing? It's not that difficult. We got through the meeting. We made it happen. And he comes up to me afterwards and he says, are you a facilitator? And I'm like, what's that? So anyway,
I love it.
That started my career because I was like, okay, I can put two and two together. I have this ability to listen carefully without putting my own influence on it, to be able to reflect back to you what it is that you need while connecting dots. And I got a lot of notoriety from it. And that's how I started my consulting business, because I started a nonprofit actually with another, at that time, I was working behind the scenes with another friend to start a nonprofit to do needle exchange in the city and county of Denver. And but in my roles, we started this nonprofit, and in my role, the health department started to say, can you work with them? Can you work with them? Can you work with them? And
that's awesome.
I decided to, since I enjoyed that technical assistance, capacity building, support work so much that this is the last part of the story. There's this awful needs assessment. And this is before the internet, right? This is like paper, massive statewide needs assessment. And I was getting married at the time, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to throw my name in the hat. And I got I didn't bid it at the highest price. I just said, what will it take? Got the job. And that helped me start my consulting business. And from there, because it gave me money to just like think about it and get it moving. Anyway.
I love that. You never told me that story of how you got started.
That's my beginning.
I knew about the HIV work and in Colorado and some of those things, but yeah, that's powerful.
It is, and I should
11 by 17 papers together. You know, I used to do that. You would print it out and line it up.
Yeah, that was a really profound opportunity, and some of those people are still very, very, very dear to me. I mean, we're all because the things we went through.
Deep relationships when you're doing that type of work, and you are with people who really care. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I mean, I still carry the relationships when I first started my career, many of them, because with like-minded people who really care about the work and each other.
It's amazing.
I've had conversations so much lately.
Can I add one other thing about me, which I think is really important to say, and I want people to know about, and I've kind of hidden it for myself, but I have been a student of sort of what makes us tick, our spiritual selves, for years. I'm not religious necessarily, but I do believe that maybe I'm more of a spiritualist, and I firmly believe that that the gifts and the unknown are really like sort of, if we can get ourselves to be unafraid and unattached, there are gifts, and that every single person on earth right now, I have things to say, but anyway, every person on earth right now has their own purpose and their own role. And this notion of competing with each other is just foolish, because nobody is me. And my gifts are divinely inspired, and they're only for me. But however, when I'm at my very, very best, that allows others to be at their very, very best. So when you're thriving and Spark Catalyst program is thriving, you're creating space for other people. And I really, really believe that. I think we should compete less and honor more, but honor ourselves more, and that's our job, is to find out, what are we here for? What are we here to experience? And how do we express that while, in our professional lives? And so that's something that I really believe wholeheartedly. And I want to talk about more readily, because I think it makes me sometimes seem a little woo-woo, and it's not actually. It's actually, this is like really, it's the truth. We're all connected.
I feel like it's the work under the work,
Yes, the work under the work.
Yeah, it's almost like the calculations of the work. It's the mathematics of the work.
And I believe Native American cultures, and I can't say who right now. My girlfriend told me this years and years ago, but they refer to it as the original medicine. It's like your original medicine. What are you? What? There's only one page.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how hard I try. I like her a lot. I'm never going to be Paige, and nor should I even compete with her. I can learn from her.
Right.
She can inspire me, and she does all the time.
Yeah. Thanks. Should we dive into our questions?
Yes. Sorry, I blathered on.
No, you're supposed to. This is all about you. So
like
perfect. That. I should have called it that. It's all about you. It'd be like a game.
Maybe you'll change that. I love that.
2026, the year of action.
It's all about you.
Yeah. Oh, now I'm like seeing visions. Okay.
Our
first question. Share a mindset shift that you've had during your leadership journey.
Oh, that's fun. So first of all, I'm a people pleaser by nature. And that's how I was raised, because it was my role in my family. And I also, part of my original medicine, part of my work, I should not quote that because I don't know where it came from. So, but part of me, my essence is I am here to help others feel great about themselves. I've known that since I'm a kid. I have been told that since I'm a kid. And so by principals asking me to be the one, like me, to bring the new kid around. Like, I've always been told that. Anyway, it has gotten in my way, though, professionally, because it has made me, like, where's the balance between saying it like it is, potentially hurting someone's feelings, like, and so and then what I'm naturally inclined to do, which is lift someone up. And so I've learned that's the mindset shift. I could say this. That's the mindset shift. That I think is the biggest one for me, which was, I don't like negative feedback necessarily. Who the hell does?
Right.
Excuse my language. And I did have somebody, a staff person once, who really was having a very difficult time, and she had so much workplace trauma. And so I decided that I would never have a performance evaluation with her if we weren't at a restaurant having a coffee or eating. And out of that, I learned that you can deliver difficult to hear news when you are honoring someone.
Yes.
And in a very graceful and kind way. And I've had supervisors sort of think that it's the, tough it out, hands on hips, this is what I see about you. Yeah. I don't prescribe to that kind. I like to be straight up, but I like it to be presented in a way that's honorable, because nobody likes to be crapped on. I don't care if it's for your growth or not.
Right.
So that would be my mind. So I'm no longer afraid of delivering difficult news. I learned to wrap it in care and respect.
Yes, I love that.
Even if it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, the sandwich effect is real, you know? I mean, that wrapping, you know, wrapping it with care just makes all the difference. I mean, not just for the deliverer, not everybody feels the same way you do. I'm the same like that. But when you're able to do that and still, because I mean, if you think about it, you're dishonoring the person by not telling them the truth.
That's true. And I missed opportunities in that way. Absolutely. My God, yes.
I remember I managed someone who was a friend of mine, 20-year friend of mine, and I was her direct supervisor, and she was not performing. And I remember it was like she cried, and we hugged, and I was honest with her. And then I was like, okay, and these are the things we can do. Well, I'm not upset, but I need to tell you these things.
Yeah.
And it was okay. We're still friends to this day. And that was
great.
That was 15 years ago.
That's
right before I started this business. But it is so hard. And yeah, I love that. That's a really powerful shift. I also want to say that Sarabi just dropped in the chat. It is called Unmuted after all, in reference to you saying you were talking too much.
Thank you. That's funny. I really love that, though. I want to just thank you for bringing that up again and reinforcing that for me, because I always want to remember that. And I always want to remember, I don't find there to be a need for disrespect really ever. Like, I think
yeah.
Brene Brown says, right, clear is kind, but I just feel like it's up to us we're allowed to have boundaries. We're allowed to share that stuff. We're allowed to do it with grace and honor. And it might not be received that way. That's okay. But we owe it to each other to not be nasty.
Yes. To not be nasty. And that you can still make progress and not be nasty.
You can make,
it's like a misnomer. You know, people think you have to.
This particular staff person was not being successful year after year after year because she was so traumatized by people being nasty. It's like, stop being nasty to her. You know, I didn't be nasty to her, but I did have to deliver uncomfortable information.
Right.
And anyway.
Yeah.
What else?
People in an amazing other place. Okay. What is a leadership lesson that you have chosen to unlearn?
Maybe it's that one, but what's a leadership lesson that I've chosen to unlearn?
Somebody else actually shared that as a lesson they've unlearned.
That's terrible. What's a leader? Besides that, Wendy, what is a leadership lesson that you have chosen to unlearn? Oh, yeah, this is a good one. I don't know if it's a leadership lesson, but I mean, it's a leadership lesson. I don't know if I was a leader while I was behaving this way, but
We're all leaders.
What?
We're all leaders.
We're all leaders. We are. And at least I love leadership at all levels. Everyone can do it. That's like one of my favorite things to do. But I have a lot of energy, and I've over the years, and I love work, right? I love the work, and I had very high blood pressure probably between like 2018 and 2021. And it was because, and COVID actually helped me to some degree, but because I was like brought home and but I walked around gasping for the amount of work. There is in this field, when you have a full consulting plate, and I work in an organization where there's a lot of other things that I was doing, that there's never a day where your list is completely, I mean, the list in the nonprofit to-do list is eternal. It just doesn't stop. And so I spent many years gasping, like, working at high performance levels and getting it done and not able to talk to people. And not that I would never call myself a workaholic, absolutely not, and not a perfectionist, but I have a high work ethic. I can take on a lot, and I have a tremendous amount of energy. And that was help. And because of this to-do list that doesn't end,
Yeah.
I didn't set, I don't even want to call them boundaries. I just did what I did until I felt like I was done for the day, and operated really quickly and got it all handled and that caused me a lot of pain. I didn't know it at the time. And so now my mom just asked me the other day, "You're still having blood pressure issues?" And I'm like, no, because somewhere around in 2021, my boss at the time told me, we want to do a campaign around sort of caring or something for the people in the sector. And I really started. And so I said, give me a weekend. I started writing and thinking. And she said, I want this to be yours. And writing and thinking. And it was to celebrate Maryland Nonprofit's 30th anniversary. And so I came, which is where I work. And so I came up thinking, with, this is the moment to care. And as a way to end nonprofit staff burnout. And in that process, I was like, okay, sister, how about you look in the mirror? Yeah. And I stopped night work for the most part and weekend work. And sometimes I would do it not because I'm a perfectionist or workaholic, but because clients needed me at that time. Well, guess who else needs me?
You.
Yeah. So that's my biggest leadership lesson, which is the list will always continue. You have to find some way to feel complete at the end of the day, and you have to treasure yourself. So if that means that you're not working after 6 or 7 o'clock at night anymore, it'll all be there tomorrow. And that's hard to do, but it saved me. And I don't have high blood pressure anymore.
I mean, that's incredible. I mean, it's a real health outcome, actually.
Yes.
As a result of intentional reflection and slowing down and care.
It took years though. And I also implemented some things I used to, I didn't need to do it anymore, but I would lie down. It started in increments. I would literally shut my office door and lie on the floor for 120 seconds, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Lights off, lie down. And that helped me. Yeah.
It's interesting too, because you see organizations, well, there's a couple of things here. So it's like you have a Google who will put in ping pong tables and vending machines, but you working 80 hours a week. So is that really care for your employees, or I don't want to say exploitation, but
or distraction, really.
Advantage, right, of folks. Or you see even in the nonprofit sector, and well-intentioned, and I think both well-intentioned, but it's like you'll have a quiet room where you can lay down. That's not solving the fact that I'm working 60 hours a week. I have a top home. I don't have a personal vehicle and have to travel here. How are people, so yeah, it's very still. And it's like, let's shift the culture instead of putting Band-Aids on it.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what else? I'm going to say one other thing, that while we're talking about shifting the culture, I don't want to hear one more time, and I need to really write about this. I hear it regularly. Well, if we can't pay people more, then at least we can stop it.
Yeah.
People need money to pay their freaking bills and eat and take care of their children and their parents and their.
Yeah.
So, and it's an excuse. Yeah.
I mean, my thing is especially in the nonprofit sector, I get it because I was there too, but I didn't mind because I was well compensated actually in the nonprofit I work for. Yes, right. Worked my butt off. I mean, ton. Morning, noon, night, weekend, traveled, was away from my toddler, my baby. But I knew the impact that it was having on community was very, very real because I saw it happening in real time. And they treated us well. If I said, I worked until 9 o'clock last night, I'm not coming in today, I'm going to work from home. Not a problem.
That's great.
Things like that.
Yeah, things like that.
Giving you autonomy and making decisions, letting you run with things because they know they're bottlenecks. These are real things that impact time, emotion, drainage, conflict. So many things. So yeah, you're spot on with that. All right, our last question.
Okay.
What is a risk you took that changed everything? And what gave you the courage to take it?
Oh God, what is a risk? Well, okay. Yeah, here we go. I never said this out loud. All right, so everybody's gonna know my secret. It's not a big secret, but when I started at Maryland Nonprofits, I really hadn't spent. I mean, I was a founder of a nonprofit, and I did all of that, but I had really been doing a lot of community mobilization work and a lot of public health work, and most of my work at the time had been in public health, well, and gang prevention and things like that, like more not infrastructure nonprofit work.
Right.
And so,
Community-facing work.
yeah, community facing work, exactly. Sitting on the street corner talking to transient youth and learning so much, and oh my gosh, so many things. But when I started, I was like, sure, I got this, but I was really learning a lot in the beginning. And so I think I had this, and many of us have this real sort of fake it till you make it. And can you ask me the question also again? Because my mind's going in two directions.
It's okay. What's a risk you took that changed everything?
Yeah.
And what gave you the courage to take it?
Yeah, the risk I took was taking this job without feeling like an absolute expert in nonprofit governance, because I wasn't. I was an expert in sort of how do you reach the community. And what gave me the courage is I really spent a lot of time in my life learning how to believe in myself, relearning, because I had terrible self-esteem, like many women of my era. I'm 61 as of January 27th, just so you know. And I'm proud of it, I can't believe it. Anyway, so many women in my era, were taught to, we as many women everywhere, but like that we don't matter as much and all of that. And so I took a chance on myself, and I had been learning over the years, spending I remember profoundly saying to myself in my 20s, I will never feel like this again. I don't care if the lesson is shitty as can be. I'm going to sit in it and learn it and release it. And so that's gave me the courage. It's not always wonderful. I mean, sometimes it sucks. You cry, but so I took this on, and I have the courage. I also did 12 years of improv. And so, which was a risk I took years ago. I was like, I need to try something. And I got into this group, and then I realized I was good at it. So trusting myself was humongous. And that gave me the courage. I am a yes person, and I am resourceful. And sometimes I feel like, sure, I can do that, even if I don't think I can. I know I will be able to. And if I can't, early on, you can bet I will tell you. I think that the mindset was really believing in myself and being okay not knowing. And going, you're smart, just keep going. Ask questions, listen carefully. And the very last thing about this, when I took the job in HIV and AIDS, I was actually somebody who wanted to work in health promotion around cardiovascular disease prevention. And I knew nothing. And so I basically took every journal article, every peer-reviewed journal, and I just started studying about AIDS and HIV to understand it. And so that's what I do. If I don't know something, I might not say I can't do it, but I will.
You're going to figure it out.
I will figure it out.
Yes. I love that.
Figure it out.
It's inspiring.
But if I can, I will tell you. I will also tell you if I can't, because sometimes I can't.
Yeah. I mean, that's where it's at. I love it.
That's me.
Wow. And a risk, just jumping in, not knowing, and look at you now. I mean, you could teach organizational governance, with your eyes closed.
I can. Yes. And I did also early on. This was very, very helpful. I got to say, I took the Standards for Excellence, consultant training, and that I was like, okay, now I got this.
Yeah.
Because also board governance is not like this or that. It's a lot of gray anyway. Yeah. So I did that. Yeah.
I always tell people, I'm like, I do board governance or board development work, but not this type of board development. There's so many different components to it.
Yes.
We are at our time. I can't
We're
believe
at
it's already
our
been
time.
30 minutes.
That was fun.
Thanks for joining
that.
us. And I hope everyone joins us again in 2 weeks. Super
Yeah,
excited.
who's 2 weeks? Who's coming? Do you have that lined up?
Yes, I definitely have it lined up. What are we? That would be the 20th. Who do we have? Oh, we have Sarabi. Yay!
Oh, who's in this? Who's here in the meeting? You said it is called Unmuted after all.
It's so funny.
Jessica just said I'm one of her favorite people. Hi, Jess.
That's so funny. You know, Jess is one of both of you. All three of you are some of my favorite people. That's why I had you all on here. Jess was an unmuted guest too. Yeah, I don't know. You didn't know that. Anyway,
I didn't know that.
Thank you all for joining us. Join us again on the 20th with Sarabi Jan. She'll be here, and we'll see you then. Have a beautiful weekend.
Bye, Paige. Thank you. Mwah. Bye.